Yo, what's up? I'm currently writing your scene, where, I'm currently writing the Lego store scene. Or at least thinking about how to write it. Uh, yeah. Because I'm just thinking of how I want it to look. I feel like a lot of it is I'll figure out how I want it to look day of, like in the moment. But I think this will help give a general idea because this is the script. This isn't the I've been working a lot in the timeline summary, so I'm trying to work on the script now, which is a bit more direct and how it's a script, so I don't know. So we got after my introduction scene, it cuts to the Lego store. Land Rover driving in the parking space in front of store with Biscoff related bumper sticker and a person inside saying "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees. Person gets out of Land Rover and walks in the store. Camera turns around after a few seconds. Lego Head walking in with hands on helmet, showing he's putting it on. Uh, and yeah, hopefully that will be a one take shot. Yeah, Biscuit. So okay, I was just thinking. So I have a lot of what the Biscoff related. Yeah, we have. I brake for Biscoff. Give me Biscoff. I speed up or go in reverse. Give Biscoff a chance. I think that one was mine. I don't know, so it's probably not as good. But I have those three options. We could do all three. We could do all three bumper sticker options. Uh, or we could I was gonna ask you, but I was also thinking it would be very funny if we ran a poll. If we on some day, I break for yeah. I think you did. I break for Biscoff. I like that one. That one's funny. I think it would be very funny if it just said that. But I also think it'd be funny if it said all three. But I also think I don't know. I mean, we could do a uh, we could do a poll if we I don't know, if we ever have a stream that has like 5 people on it, or I don't know, just like a good amount of people, we could run a poll with all three saying what do you want the Land Rover to say on it. Or another idea is since I'm gonna be what picked up in a DeLorean by the Uber driver who may or may not happen to be a friend of mine, um, then uh, what is it, uh what is it I didn't we weren't we thinking that they could also have like some Biscoff thing on the DeLorean? Because in that case we could use all three or two of these. We could just use a couple of these phrases and then put them around different parts of the film. So maybe your Land Rover says I brake for Biscoff, and then later on when I get picked up, the DeLorean happens to say give me Biscoff. I don't know. What are we thinking? Hello, DJX. We don't write that down. Uh, uh, okay. So that's the thing. I don't know if Scott's gonna walk in the store and then I'm gonna walk in the store, but I also think that we can that maybe we could do like a little uh I couldn't I hey all Scott here would be too unnatural. However, we could we could also do well, I mean, I was thinking, I don't know, like Scott could walk in the store, and then one of the other employees is like, "Hey, Scott," and then because that would establish without that would establish your name for the audience in that scene. If you just walk in and someone says, "Hi, Scott," and then there's a and then I don't know. I just don't know if there. What I it's just I guess what I'm just wondering is should there be like a little like interaction because a little interaction with like you and whomever like the other Lego store employees before I walk in, or it should just be, or if it should just be like you walking in, no one really says anything, but maybe we like focus on you guys for a little bit, and the camera turns around because this would hopefully be like in a one-shot take, and then I'd be walking in, and then after that, I don't know what would happen, because because I have to stay late would be the plot point, or it would be that I would have to stay late, which would cause all this to happen. And oh, I think this tells me what would be right here. And I want to check something. Either our songs go with it, yeah. Wait, like, sorry, I've kind of forgotten what I've said. Like either or, like we can do like a dialogue scene with like the you and the employees first, or not before. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But I do wanna. I wanna. Oh, that's. Yeah, that. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh man, I so there's a song that I wanted to use for. I don't know if it would be in this scene, or I feel like it would be better in a later scene. But I don't know. I mean, it could work here. There's this one website that I heard about years ago, and I was planning on maybe using to license some music for this, and it it was. I wanted to use Virtual Insanity at one point during this. Sorry, I was considering whether or not just to mention this because that's spoilers, but I mean, that's kind of what this whole stream is about. It's about, knowing what's going to happen before it happens. So yeah, I wanted to use Virtual Insanity for like a build montage or something. And there's this one website, Licked, that I heard about years ago, and looking at it now, it seems like they've gotten more in their like repertoire of stuff you can license, at least more stuff that I recognize, and yeah. So I thought that song was on the website. I don't know if yeah, I don't know if it still is or not. So places change. What? Is that? What do you mean? Because I know another YouTuber who did use that song, and I thought that I don't know. I figured they used the Licked website, but I don't know. I don't know how you would do that, or how like they did that. I guess because I was thinking a lot of the songs in this in the franchise could be covers. It helps us escape copyright, kind of, and also, if like the DJX band and I, if we do like a cover, or then we could like take that and put it on one of our albums. Um, Song lyrics for Original Insanity. That is the song, etc. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what would be. Uh, I don't know what would. I wish I had written down who says these ideas. Because, like, yeah, I think this was, like, Scott and DJX. Uh, yeah, because the overture, I know that was Scott. I remember that. I guess I'll write that so uh, I know. Um, Go on a quest for brick separators and draw out that scene more action than just walking home. Was that Scott or DJX? Earthwide brick separator shortage? uh, I don't remember that one. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so the original Scott Davis quote, Lego needs to be driving a Land Rover into work while listening to Staying Alive. Yes, however, now that is, I guess we're changing that to be Scott driving, though. Well, yeah, because then, if that, well, that's, okay, here we go. Yeah, if Scott drives the Land Rover, then that gives an excuse to put the Biscoff on it. The bumper sticker. I mean, we could do that even if, I guess it doesn't matter who drove it. It could just be, we could do the bumper sticker either way, but still. You could borrow mine on Brianna. Okay. Nice. Bricks and pieces. It would bring a new meaning to Staying Alive. Barry Biscoff, I need a schedule. What if you had... Oh, okay. Well, what if... Oh, I don't know. Because... Yeah, Did I tell you that I was thinking, so what if your whole did I write this down in the notes or yeah, so what if, yes, so I didn't know if we were doing the thing where Scott's just looking for jobs constantly throughout the movies until eventually he finds his place at Swank Industries. I didn't know if we were going with that. If we are, then I mean, okay, so Scott, can you imagine yourself in a world where you're working at Bricks and Minifigs, and then but then you are still looking for a job with Barry from Biscoff? Because what I'm wondering here is, what if the dialogue scene is just like we're setting up the fact that you're looking for jobs? So then, what if it's just like a dialogue scene of you mentioning that you have a meeting scheduled with Barry from Biscoff, as we have in the fan ideas? Sure I could? Okay. I mean, well, because I'm just, okay, so I'm just thinking because, the way I see it is like, I rather be at Bricks and Minifigs than Biscoff. However, what is it? I'd rather be at Bricks and Minifigs than Biscoff. However, I don't know. You are known for your Biscoff, your Scott Davis. So I feel like for you, maybe you would rather be working at Biscoff than Bricks and Minifigs, because you're always like, if you're looking for another job, that probably implies that the other job's better. I don't know. So basically what I'm saying here is, I don't know, do we have you working in the Lego store in the first film and mention that you're, well, I guess we don't have to, but we could mention that you're like looking for a job at Barry from Biscoff or something, and then, or we could just have you working at Biscoff in like the first movie, and then have you at the Bricks and Minifigs in like a later one. I don't know. Or we just forget the whole thing, and I don't even need to mention that you're working at that you want to work at Biscoff. The lawsuit thing is all right with Bricks and Minifigs. What do you mean? You said it as a question, but there's. Well, what's the question? Barry from Biscoff. I need to schedule a meeting with Barry. He had works at Radio Shack, and there's. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, sorry. So we're having you work at Radio Shack and looking for a job at Biscoff. So that happened, right? Yeah. And it's still happening. What if Scott mentions it? Yeah, okay. So we're so now so that just makes me wonder. Well, what I'm really wondering is geographically, how is this gonna work? Because if the film takes place in Arizona, but Scott's canonically in Ohio, um, and then uh, and then the Radio Shack is in Massachusetts. How does that connect? How does anything there make any sense at all? The um, the thing about was it? Oh yeah, and the thing was, oh, the Radio Shack in Massachusetts that I found did it you know, it was just a building for lease when I saw it, but it still like happened to have the Radio Shack logo. Um, and now I think it's turned into like a bike shop. So you know, it's been like 40 years, and you know, the moment that 40 years of like nothing, and 40 years of no one buying that building for lease, and then the moment that uh, you know, the moment that I want it, you know, the bike shop. So a bike shop. Well, yeah, yeah. No, I remember telling you. I think it was a while ago though. Yeah, it was like a couple of years ago, or a year or two ago. Believe, believe so. I think that's what it is now. Uh, I mean, I wonder if there are any uh, Radio Shack locations, Arizona. Oh, okay. So, because if there was canonically a Radio Shack in Arizona at all, then I feel like, you know, then because the other building doesn't even have the one in Massachusetts doesn't even look like a Radio Shack anymore. So at that point, I'm okay with using, you know, just as long as it was a location where Radio Shack was at one point. That's mainly what I care about now, I guess. He moved. A new Radio Shack opened. What? Like, what do you? I don't know. What do you mean? I guess the like he moved to Arizona. A new Radio Shack opened up. What, in Arizona or That's how it makes sense. Uh, oh, okay. Wait. Okay, I found in Arizona. Yeah. Yeah. I found a possible. January 3rd, 2009. Okay, I cannot seem to find a laptop cord that will that will charge my 5-year-old laptop. I know, it's like 10 trillion years in technology years. I must be some. I'm not finishing that. Okay. Uh, Basically, I found a Yelp review for a Arizona Radio Shack. Um, yeah. From 2009. So only 3 years ago, but yeah. Wow. So they're talking about a 2004 laptop. That what the Apple Power Book? Was it the Power Book? I think. Is that what I'm thinking of? That was in 2004, right? Yeah. Oh, 1991. This thing. Yeah. So if you were the person writing the 1991 to 2006, so you could have been the person on Yelp in 2009 talking about their 5-year-old laptop from 2004. Anyway, oh yeah, so let's add that in the fan ideas. 2012. I was born in 1982. I would have been 14. Yeah. Instead of -1. Oh, what, 6 years ago? You would have been 14? Yeah. Uh, I'm confused now. Yeah, no, it's for, the frat house. Wait, no, you don't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we never. I don't think we ever filled Scott in on the frat house. What are we trying to figure out? We're trying to figure out the how geographically this makes sense, because the Scott's in Ohio and I'm in Arizona, and yes, the frat house. Yeah, the 2012 frat house. You need to join it, man. We can give you the presentation. I think it might have been the day that it might have been like July 4th, because I remember once we were trying to get everyone on call, and you said you were at a cookout because it was like July 4th, and so a couple people couldn't make it on call because of that. It might have been that day that you missed the presentation. But we would be happy to give it to you again, or for the first time, I suppose. Okay, so. Okay, so yeah, so geographically, you're in Ohio, I'm in Arizona, and then Radio Shack is in Massachusetts. However, I found a Radio Shack. I think I don't know if they still exist, but there are buildings in Arizona that were Radio Shacks at one point, so I think, I mean, that could work. Yeah, we could do something like we could do something with that, I guess. And then when's the film set? It is set in modern times. It is set around the exact same time that it will be releasing, May 2nd, 2028. And oh yeah, but then also Scott the Woz is also in Ohio, so we need to also figure out how that. Unless we just had like Scott separated from me, from like from the rest of the cast. Like we have the main cast in Arizona, and then we have like Scott the Woz and Scott Davis doing their thing in Ohio, and then for some reason you guys need to come over to Arizona. Or you guys do come over to Arizona, and yeah, but then we wouldn't do the Lego store scene, at least not in the first film. This is a lot of mental gymnastics. I just realized, okay, glaring plot problem in the plot here. So, if I work there, why can't I just unlock the door? Because I thought the idea was that I need to break out of the store for some reason. after it's closed because it's locked and I can't make it out. And at that point, like, I don't know, if I work there, I should be able to just get out of the store because I work there. Uh, Also, if you lock up from the outside, I don't know. I was like, the door could be jammed, I suppose. And, you know, yeah, I guess. I guess we could do. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. I got it. I got it. Okay. Where's the? I don't know what the dialogue would write. It would be, but what if like when uh okay. There's okay. We could yeah. This person gets walks into the store. Uh. I don't know what would, because my idea is the so Scott's gonna get out. Scott's gonna walk into the store, and then I want him to mention something about the door being jammed or whatever, or like the door having trouble. Like, I don't know, the door just being weird, and then what if it turns around to me, and then I'm walking in, and then I mention something about the door being weird, and then Scott and the other employee are like, yeah, we were just talking about that or something, and then that would set up what, like, later I maybe, like, before I leave, I realize that the door is like completely jammed. Then I build the suit to get out. I don't know. That's my thought. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking how we would. Well, what the dialogue would be, and also if it's a bit too excessive to just have Scott mention it and then have me mention it, and then also, like, maybe before Scott leaves for the day and I'm the one left staying late, to have him also say, be careful of the door or something, or have like him trying to like having trouble with the door, because at that point we have so much, like, that is so much setup for the door for just the door being jammed. I think we need to establish everything from the beginning up to this current point. What, like, you mean just like in the film, or like restate what we have so far in the just as, I don't know how to explain that. Like, do you mean like go through the script again, or just like just we need to in the script we need to write it so we're setting things up? Uh, uh, yeah, script I think. Okay. So okay. So yeah, so it starts with just starts with an opening scene that doesn't connect until later. That doesn't matter. And then uh oh wait, and then it just right now I have yeah, okay. And then I guess well that's the okay. Yeah. I guess we'll so that's separated and then we can okay. Yeah, and then pretty much I mean all there is before the Lego store scene is just like uh like just me in the garage playing music, and then it says blank hours earlier on screen, and then we do like the Back to the Future style opening with the camera just going around the room looking at gadgets and things, which sets up my like building experience, and then or like sets up how I build gadgets and things, and the rest of that scene I'm not exactly sure how it would play out, just because of like I feel like I need to be at a certain point in real life to be able to use what I have to make the scene. And then after my setup scene, then it would just go to the right now I have it just going to the Lego store, you driving in, going to work, and then it's me walking in, and there's some dialogue, and then you would leave, and then I'd stay late, and then I'd realize the door is jammed, and then I'd build the suit to break out, and then I'd get picked up by my friend in a DeLorean, or by somebody in a DeLorean, and then I'd go home, and then I'd was it so then I'd go home, and Lego Head is still and the Lego Head gets Lego Head gets stuck onto me as well at the store, so then I Lego gets stuck onto me at the store, and then when I'm home I decide to I don't know the more that I think about this, the more that I realize how much of this actually makes sense. Not much. I mean, well, so it is 2:49 actually, so I will have to leave in like 10 minutes. However, yeah, because that's another question is like why did I have to wait until I got home to take off the head, and I didn't just take it off at the store? Uh, I mean, I feel like this works, but I don't know. Is that ever? That's a, like. Hello, bricks and pieces. I am currently really rethinking all of this. I'm trying. I'm kind of. I don't know if lost is the right word, but Mia's like, yeah, Scott could walk in and say, like, have trouble with the door, and then, and then you get, like, I don't know. Right now, I have him saying that door's on its last leg, but because that would, that would say how you that would it would show. First of all, we can show him struggling with the door, which is showing that there's a problem with it, and then also saying that it's on his last leg might show how it was easy for me to just ram into it with the suit later on. That door could use some WD-40. That too. Okay. Yeah, because I didn't know if saying like we need to oil it or something. I don't know. So I guess yeah, it's WD-40. Maybe what if I feel like I could walk in and say that? Actually, okay, Scott, would you rather have the line that door's on his last leg or that door could use some WD-40? I mean, to be fair, you would be the one driving Bricks and Pieces Land Rover, so so it might make more sense for you to say the line that Bricks and Pieces put in the chat. WD-40? Okay. Nice. Because, yeah, I feel like saying it's on his last leg, I don't know, it sounds kind of corny, and it's also something that I would say. It's like, I mean, because I was the one to write it, so I can't, you know. That's, I feel like, is going to be a problem for me writing dialogue for other characters, which is why, which I guess is why having these streams is helpful, because then I can just ask, what do you want your dialogue to be? And then when filming, I want people to be able to, I don't know, improvise. If they just think a line doesn't sound like them, they can just say something else if they want, as long as it fits in the scene. Okay, I got some dialogue in. I have a large WD-40 can on hand, but you can't open it, so it needs to be a medium-sized one, and then that doesn't open, so you get an even smaller one that opens a little bit. How can I... Hold on. I want to copy that. I need to... Let's go on the... Okay. Nice. I copied it. Don't do that. Don't melt the Lego together. I know you want me to melt my Playmobil, but don't melt the Lego together. And I broke the trellis. Doesn't matter how old or if you broke some, don't melt it. Man. Yeah, it's 2:59. In 1 minute, I will be heading out. I do have to leave. Lego said 660. No. Don't. No. Why? This is like. This is like the oldest thing that you could. No. Are you actually trying? Why are you 1975? Oh, wait, like you're trying to melt it so you can put it together? Okay. I still don't condone melting. However, I see what you're doing. Just order a new one. How much is that? Let's see. How much is a sealed one? Okay, no one even has one. 55 bucks. 100% complete with box and instructions not pictured. See image of this actual set. Wow. 55 bucks. Oh, you paid £8 for it. Nice. Yeah. Well, with that, not a very long stream. However, I do have to leave, and it is 3 o'clock. I have to go somewhere. I need to get something to eat. I do want to do another another stream soon. That's not a one of these script writing streams. So. I did it. Break pieces. Yeah. Okay. Well. From Machine, it's been a fantastic stream. Thank you. Oh, well, they're always fantastic because I get to see you guys. So, anyway, yeah, see you around. Yeah, hopefully I'll be doing another stream soon. See you.